and some of the things that you've done. In regards to in 2014, the movie The Interview, made by Sony Pictures, and the Sony was hacked by allegedly, they say, hackers from or affiliated with the North Korean government. You and Human Rights Foundation worked on an initiative through Indiegogo called Hack Them Back.
Well, what you need to understand about North Korea is what the movie The Interview, the reason it was so problematic for the government of North Korea wasn't that there was a movie that poked fun at the North Korean dictatorship, was even the premise of the film is a problem. Because in North Korea, Kim Jong-un is a god. Their dictator is God. God does not sit for interviews. Just the premise of the film alone,
even if it didn't poke fun at him,
was just game over. Can't have that. So the government did everything they could to keep the film out of Japan, which is why Sony decided not to run it in Japan, because Japan has a lot of influence into North Korea, and there's a lot of back and forth, through the underground channels. We have had programs that smuggle material into North Korea for several years. We smuggle all sorts of stuff.
Previous to this happening.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so so let's explain what Hack Them Back was, and if you want to start before
Sure,
that, that's fine.
Sure. Well, our program involves breaking the monopoly of information that the North Korean government has over its people. The North Korean people believe that they live in the most prosperous, richest, best country in the world. That the rest of the world is starving. Other than China, the rest of the world is starving. That it really is sort of like Mad Max Fury Road everywhere else. Mm-hmm. And if you leave North Korea, you are leaving the embrace of the dear leader. And that's extremely dangerous because you don't know what you're going to get out there, and the dear leader might not be able to protect you out there. And those American bastards might come and get you and kill you. If you leave North Korea, you might get killed. So don't leave. And they've got their people completely brainwashed into believing this stuff. The way to eliminate that brainwashing is to counterbalance it with programming. Television, articles, Wikipedia, movies. Obviously, movies are the most potent thing. And we smuggle those in, over the river, in the air, using balloons, using these big helium balloons.
Helium balloons that, to describe these helium balloons.
There's very, very long helium balloons.
They're really tall.
Yeah. Because, they have to go really far. Uh-huh. And so we use the winds, and we put things into a plastic bag with a detonator, and the package goes into North Korea, and then the detonator goes off after several hours when we've calculated using the winds where it's going to be near an urban area. And then it breaks, and out comes massive amounts of leaflets and CDs and thumb drives and other things like that, things that you can't get there. And then this allows people to see, to get an alternative opinion, an alternative view.
And you're standing here at the DMZ, you and a team are with these, how many balloons for the Hack Them Back?
Well, that depends. Well,
is this recurring constantly? This is always happening?
Yeah, this is happening all the time.
How often?
Well, I mean, the last, let's just put it this way. The government of North Korea has sent several faxes to the government of South Korea informing them that they're going to bomb us.
There's the fax
every
again.
time we do that. Every time we do this. Because no, they're certainly not going to email. South Korean government's not opening emails from North Korea. So they've been we try not to talk about where we do it because there's all this talk about how they're going to blow the place up.
South Korea doesn't have a problem with you?
Occasionally South Korea has been very nervous about it because if they have foreign leaders visiting, foreign leaders don't like the idea that they may end up in a nuclear holocaust. So if the North says we're going to bomb the South if these people send these balloons over, we're doing something that's perfectly protected in virtually any country, putting a balloon up in the air. But these bullies up north don't want their people to basically be exposed to these leaflets, so they threaten the South with hellfire. Mm-hmm.
So the South, again, even regardless of the foreign leaders that might be in town,
it's a free country. South Korea is a free country.
At the same time, they're bordering this,
But South Korea is a free country.
Okay.
So
they've never said politely, could you not do that right now?
Think about it. If there were people in fact, there have been people in certain dictatorships that have said, if you burn a Quran in the United States, we're going to blow things up. Well, if the United States suddenly said, can't allow that happen, can burn the U.S. flag, but not a Quran. I'm not saying that it's a good thing to do these things, to burn a Quran or a U.S. flag. But if we're going to follow and fall prey to the bullying and the blackmail, then what's next?
Well, I'm not advocating.
What's
that.
next is us being handed over in chains for the South Koreans handing us over in chains to the North Koreans.
I agree. First of all, agree with you. I just was curious to know if they had any sort of sensitivity or worry about you sort of inciting the North Koreans with.
Well, we don't do this
yeah.
publicly.
Okay.
We do this quietly. We do it at night, and we're not going to stop doing it.